In this thesis and dissertation services word training video, we'll be talking about controlling your automated table of contents. This includes replacing it if need be, making corrections within it, adding and subtracting items, as well as making modifications to the styles that appear. In our sample document today, we have quite a long list of entries, almost 2 full pages here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the end of the line and insert the word page and set it to be right aligned so it sits over the page numbers. We recommend this. It's just one of those nice little things you can add to make the document a little bit easier for your readers. Sometimes when you're working with your table of contents, you'll go to update the field and you'll update the entire table and everything will be fine, except there's suddenly a paragraph sitting in here. To correct this, you can hold down Control and then click in the paragraph, and it will take you to the instance, which in this case is just inside Chapter 1. If I click in here, you'll see that the style up at the top shows Heading 1. To take care of this and make sure that you don't have whole paragraphs showing up in your table of contents, you'll want to click to Normal. And then you just want to make the minor modifications that make it look like the rest of your document, setting it to double spaced, making sure that the paragraph indent is there. This happens more often than you'd realize. Heading styles can come in when you copy and paste from documents on the web or out of PDFs or from other Word documents. You can have your cursor set in a paragraph when you hit a heading and then just change the style back to make it look normal rather than actually correcting the heading style up in the top here. So it happens more often than you think, so it's not too much of a surprise to us in thesis and dissertation services. So that will take care of this. So if we right click, update the entire table and say OK, we go back to what looks pretty good here. Sometimes if you've been working with this, you may be using the template and decide, I don't really like the way this is formatted. If you want to delete the entire table of contents, you can, and start fresh. We'll grab it. We'll go to References. Now, deleting the table of contents or just modifying it are both things you can do. You can remove table of contents here. But if you choose Insert Table of Contents, it will allow you to make modifications. For example, if you've got more than 4 heading levels and you want them, or more than 3 heading levels and you want them all to appear in the table of contents, you'll want to come down here where it says Show Levels, and you can add those back in. A lot of the time when you do this, you'll notice that they may not be in the exact style that you're using. And this is because either the template or if you've been working in your document and you've hand typed everything, different defaults will sort of override and you'll need to correct them. So we'll go to Modify, and you'll see here that TOC1, TOC2, TOC3, these coordinate to Heading 1, Heading 2, Heading 3 respectively. So Heading 4 has some stuff happening here that we need to correct. So we'll go to TOC4 and we will modify it. The rest of the entries in here have been Times New Roman, and they've been 12 point, and they've been single spaced, but there's a little bit of space you see here. If you come down to Format and Paragraph, you can add a 6-point space after. It gives you about half a line, and it will enter itself automatically after every entry rather than between every line of text. This makes it a little bit easier to read if you have very long chapter headings. And so we'll click OK. So that looks a little bit more normal. Let's go ahead and get Heading 5. So we'll modify TOC5. Put it to Times New Roman and 12. We've already got the single spacing. So space after 2, 6. Okay. And OK. So this looks pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got that nice reverse stair step that shows you the hierarchy of your headings. So I will say OK. Do you want Word to replace the selected table of contents? Yes, we do. This will rebuild it. This is great for those instances when your document is coming up with not being able to read a bookmark or whatever. Sometimes you'll see bookmark not defined where the page number should be. And now this document has no 4th or 5th level headings, but if it did, they would be appearing. One thing that we do like to see is that chapter headings have what we call title case, where the first letter of each important word is capitalized. So I'm going to go down to page 13. And close that. Agility. Large. Carnivorous. Dinosaurs. And then we'll go back up to the table of contents. And in this way, you can make corrections, update the field, be sure to get the entire table. And title case is something that we recommend for heading levels 1 and 2 at the minimum. APA 6 prefers things to be written as if it were a sentence for heading levels 3, 4, and 5. Really, as long as you use your capitalization style consistently, there shouldn't be any problem. And that's how we will work with the table of contents